You're tuned into Capital Jazz TV. I'm your host, Jodine Dorsey. I have a co-host with me on this special edition of the Capital Jazz TV.
You said you the host.
Right.
I
have a co-host. His name is Eric Roberson.
How you doing?
All of you guys know him. We are on the 12th annual Capital Jazz SuperCruise, and we are sitting with Butterscotch.
I
gotta say we, because I usually say I, because but Butterscotch is here.
Yes.
Hello.
Butterscotch.
Hi, Butterscotch.
Hello, hi.
First of all, you did absolutely incredible on this boat. So many people are talking about you. How was the trip for you?
Man, it was amazing. And thank you for starting that night. Well, that sound check. I just loved just listening to your voice, to the band, and it just put me in a great
nice.
space.
You can say it. I'm amazing. It's fine. It's fine.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
But Jodine's amazing too. Jodine's amazing as well.
Poor Butterscotch. So anyway, Butterscotch. Well, you're no stranger to the Capital Jazz family. You performed last year at the Capital Jazz Fest, and you opened up, and everyone just loved you. You were so well received. How do you feel like you're being received here?
I mean, it's great. It's great.
It's packed out show
as I said last night, I feel like everyone is now my family. It's like my aunties and my uncles out here. So it's I feel the love, and I appreciate it, and I'm really grateful. So
let's get to the most important question. You are a singer. You are a guitarist. There's all of that on a boat, but you're also a beatboxer. Yeah. How was it talking to Dougie Fresh after the show?
Oh yeah, I mean that's a longtime idol. I had performed with him about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more. I wasn't sure if he remembered me at all, because there was a bunch of beatboxers. But just to actually finally get a face-to-face, one-on-one conversation, and after he killed his set, and just realize that's the I am talking to the source of what I do,
right?
And I'm getting chills as I talk about it, because it's something that's so, I don't know, ingrained in me, and in hip hop, and how much hip hop has influenced the rest of the world. So it's just like I'm talking to and witnessing this show, and literally the show, and with Slick Rick and then Teddy Riley backstage, and then you backstage, and just I'm like, this is this is crazy. This is what I grew up with. This is everything, and I couldn't sleep last night because I was just like, oh man,
nice.
Yeah.
What did you get inspired? Is there inspiration that comes from that? Do you go back in your cabin and start writing, or do you start hearing new sounds? How does?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I feel like I'm absorbing so much, and especially after listening to your set, and just your creativity and your musicality is so inspiring. And I just got off tour with Marcus Miller, so it's kind of just being on tour with him for 2 weeks, just absorbing his energy, his flow, just standing next to him every night, and him just
killing it on the bass.
And so I kind of carried that with me, but then being exposed to new artists, to some artists I've never seen live. Avery Sunshine last night, whenever was just
she's saying her face off, her neck off.
She's literally I tried to recognize. She walked up to me. I said, "Who are you?" Because you have no face now. She sang it off completely. I don't. It's amazing.
I mean, she made me want to be with someone. I'm a happily single person right now. I mean, I'd like to be with someone, but just the way that she talked to her husband on stage, and just I'm like, man, maybe I need to be with a musician.
Find someone.
But then I'm like, oh, musicians are crazy. We're all crazy. Artists are crazy. But I'm like, oh, but they're so amazing. But
I'm not crazy. I'm the most sane person on this boat. Completely. Well, let me ask you this: as we're getting off the boat, what are the plans? You just finished this tour with Marcus Miller. Are you working on a new album, or are you working on a new tour?
Yeah. So I have some new music coming out. We're currently planning. I'm working with a producer, Chief Excel from Blackalicious, and we have some incredible music. It's kind of a throwback slash. I don't know. I mean, it has some new elements, and trying to just mix everything that I do and encompass all my influences. And before we started the album, we started talking about all our like favorite albums, and like our number one was like Mama's Gun, and just
That's a good one.
I mean, number one. I mean, you can't really name a number one album, but I think that was like our common denominator. I mean, we had so many, but
yeah.
But like Earth, Wind and Fire, and we kind of have even some like Stevie-esque vibes on it. So I'm excited to release that stuff. I'm working on a few just little singles and like little EPs, smaller projects, just to feed people while they're waiting.
Yeah.
And so right now, I am about to take a break because I've just been jumping around so much, and just I just moved out to New York, so
she's in our city. She's in New York.
She moved to New Jersey.
That's
fine.
not your city.
Sorry.
She's in New York. Go ahead.
So I'm excited to sink my roots and just just build my community, build my home, and just really take advantage of being surrounded by so many creative people, and taking some time for me to like I want to after doing all this stuff, I just want to get in the lab and just use this field to create.
Yeah.
So.
Eric, you know about that little quiet time because you go into your hut in the middle of the forest.
I'm never
in
quiet.
Jersey.
We got too many kids to be quiet. I'm just trying not to get my wife pregnant anymore.
Let's not do that.
Or I'll be completely quiet.
Is good. Sean's good.
Forever.
I think you've hit that capacity.
She'll probably kill me if I get her pregnant again. So that's the ultimate quiet time.
So Butterscotch, also I wanted to ask you, for those that don't know, SuperCruisers or people that haven't attended a Capitol Jazz, when they hear about a Butterscotch tour coming to their city, what can they expect? Because it's almost like I have to see you live to really understand or articulate the type of experience you're going to have. What do you normally tell people what to expect?
I guess it's a vocal, soul moving experience, I guess. And I don't really know what to expect each show. It really also depends on the energy of the crowd and of the type of event, because I do all sorts of shows. I do some festivals, I do some clubs, I sometimes go to high schools, I do the fun corporate events sometimes, or teach kids about beatboxing, and I always try to slip in some inspirational message about my life and getting through depression when I was younger, and I still suffer a little bit, but I don't think we're supposed to go on a roller coaster to experience everything that life is. And so, it's just as much as we should appreciate the good days, we need to appreciate the bad days as well, because it makes us just feel alive.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be happy all the time. That's, and so just kind of ingraining that message, among other things, just in the youth, and I mean everybody for that matter. Everybody needs a reminder. Speaking of, I think when I watched the Flow Assist, like that was, I just was like at the end of the show, I was like, because because I grew up listening to her, and that was also I listened to Flowetry for my first love, and so it also like brought but just like her message and her vibe and energy, it was like after that show I just felt high. I just felt so high, and I want to to bring that to people whenever I perform as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And you definitely do.
I
you
agree.
definitely do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I might have coined your show and your music, and you can just pay me later for it. But I think it's multitasking soul.
Ooh.
Because first of all, I appreciate the fact that 2 shows that we did together, your set were different, and I like the fact that like she already won in the first set, but you get a different set on the second one. But there was a moment where you were beatboxing and singing at the same time, while playing guitar at the same time, and then went into a trumpet solo at the same time. Like, how amazing is that? Yes, but what made you dive into so many things and say, all right, is there ever a moment we're going, this is too many things going on at the same time? Or how do you figure all that out?
I mean,
hours of practice, right?
I don't know. I guess I kind of get bored. I came from a musical family. My mom is a piano teacher. And so I got the classical side from my mom. And then my dad would always listen to Motown, and my grandparents would listen to jazz, and my siblings would listen to hip hop and R&B. And so that was my upbringing. And there was always instruments laying around the house. So I would just, whenever I got bored, I'd just pick up different instruments. Wow. And then in high school, that's when I started to beatbox. There was this amazing new kid at school, and he was just dope, and I was like, I want to learn how to do that.
Wow.
So then I started to kind of combine it with playing guitar and piano, and with singing I was never very confident. I knew what I wanted to sound like, but one of my cousins had this God-given church voice that just every time you listen to her, just be like, that's incredible. I can never do that, And I grew up listening to Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, and okay, I can never sound like that, But I think because I just love to sing. I just love to sing, so I just kept on singing, and it's you don't have to be so great at something from the beginning, because a lot of people ask me, when did you discover you could beatbox? I'm like, discover? I had to practice.
Right. I just did it.
So I think my upbringing molded me, and just also sports. I grew up playing soccer and basketball, so I kind of had the discipline from that to kind of all right, if I don't get it right the first time, do it 10 more times, and so yeah,
that's
something
fantastic.
you definitely practice. It's very obvious. There's a lot of work put into it. Wow.
So last question. I know we've got to wrap up. They're about to kill us right now because this is what happens every time we get together.
Sorry.
We just keep talking. So last question. I want to talk about your social activism. I know that from a queer perspective, you want to really be that person. You are that person that's championing that subject matter. Why is that so important? Why is your voice so needed right now in that community?
I mean, I think because I was once afraid, and I think in this world we live in, I still am afraid. But it's important to, fear is not the absence of I'm trying to say something deep and I'm messing it up.
It's all good. It's all good. Eric does it all the time. Every time he sings, he thinks it's deep. Every time.
I'm like, fear is not the absence of trigonometry.
Right.
I agree. Completely.
No, but meaning you still got to do stuff when you're scared.
Yeah.
And to inspire, though, there's so many other people that don't have the luxury of this platform or don't have the courage yet, or don't grow up in California or New York where it's more socially acceptable.
Right.
And I feel that since music can reach so many people, I used to want to be the president because I wanted to make change. Right. Now we obviously see
where that's
big problem. But music is something that people listen to every day. Yeah. They go into their own worlds and they're influenced by what they listen to. Right. So if I can be in someone's ear, and give them hope, then that's what I want to do.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for using your voice. Thank you for using your platform and speaking to these communities. They need you.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. We need you. Absolutely. So Eric.
Yes.
Any last words for Butterscotch?
I don't really have any more words for Butterscotch except that she's absolutely amazing.
You called her an alien the first time we talked. You know that, right?
She is an alien. There's certain people that qualify as aliens. She clearly does not breathe the oxygen that I or us mere humans breathe. But what I really want to talk about is I want to applaud you for wearing a gold turtle ring on your finger. Can we get a picture of that? That is just
right.
black fashion personified, to the
I was interviewing
level.
Butterscotch. I had to step my game up.
You had to step your game up. You
This
said,
is what you do when you
on my
This is what
finger,
you do when you have to interview Butterscotch. And Butterscotch, how do people keep in contact with you? We want to experience you in our cities. How do we do that?
On Instagram, Butterscotch Music. On Twitter, The Butterscotch. Facebook, Butterscotch. Butterscotchmusic.com. And I also have my number posted on Instagram, so you guys can text me there, and I'll let you know when I'm in your town.
Wow.
And when I have new music, new videos, whatever. And I know we need to wrap it up, but I just want to say in 5th grade, turtle is my favorite word, so just shout out turtle.
Shout out to the turtle.
Turtle.
Thank you so much for joining us. My co-host Eric Roberson, Butterscotch Music, here on the 12th Annual Capital Jazz Super Cruise. I'm Jodine Dorsey, and you are tuned in to Capital Jazz TV.